Hello and welcome to episode 57 of the Disconnected Gamers podcast, where we reconnect with life and gaming. Sometimes. I'm one of your hosts, Andrew, also known as J-Bond. With me as always, the man who needs no introduction, but we give it to him anyways.
Yeah, it's your boy Mike.
A little later in the evening, it is Sunday,
A little late.
February 14th, also known as Singles Awareness Day, also known as Valentine's Day, also known as just another day.
Mm-hmm.
And, dude, it was negative 9 degrees this morning. Negative 9. Feels like negative 36. Tweeted a picture of it. It is currently, according to the weather app on my phone, 1.
What?
It's 1.
What?
It's 1 feels like negative 8, and it's gonna be negative. It's gonna get colder, so it looks like it's going into negative 6, and then when the sun starts coming back out, it's gonna be like a high of 18. 27. High of 27. But then Tuesday it's gonna rain. It's gonna be 55 and rain. So you know.
I don't get the weather at all. Like, I think last week we had like 70. The weather was like 70 out. Next day, completely cold.
It's that global warming, my friend.
Must be.
Gotta blame it on something. It's because everyone drives. It's because of all those Hummers that everyone drove.
People just need to switch to Priuses.
Yeah, I'm gonna drive that Prius. Not gonna happen.
Nope.
You put a Prius engine in my Tahoe, we can talk. Except they did make a hybrid Tahoe. It didn't sell well. They made a hybrid Silverado too, and a hybrid Escalade.
Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of police departments actually have them. The hybrid Tahoes, because they can sit parked somewhere and have the car running but not really using gas. But I guess efficiency wise they weren't really that much better or something. I don't know, because it's like they don't make them anymore, so there's had to be something either wrong with them or maybe the repairs or something. I don't know. I'm just
costly.
Yeah, I just have to assume that there was something cost prohibitive about them, that because you would think that if you just made them all that way and you only offered them in a hybrid model, that's the thing. That's the thing people are missing. That's how you solve this energy crisis, or you start to, slow the damage. Just force every vehicle to be a hybrid, right? The problem is not all the technology is there. It will increase the cost of the cars, but there's a benefit to the user too. You get better gas mileage. The problem is I don't think people realize you're not going to get like 50 miles to the gallon in something like an Escalade. The car weighs too much.
Yeah, true.
So, but if you got 20 instead of 16, that's a start. While they figure it out.
Yeah.
Technology's only going to get better.
It's true.
Elon Musk has probably done more work with electric car batteries in a decade than some manufacturers have done in a long time.
over
more than that same time period, because he's managed to crank as much out of it. And he even said basically in an article once that his problem now is that the batteries weigh too much, right? He's got to find a way to make the batteries weigh less, because he's now he's like reached whatever threshold of like the amount of storage the battery has versus the weight of the battery affecting it, right? And it's like, so you're just putting you're not getting more out of the battery at some level of like weight to energy capacity, but it's like whatever. Over my head. Not an electrical engineer.
Yeah. Probably ask my uncles about that. They went to school for that stuff.
Yeah, I have a couple friends who are into that stuff, like super, super into it, and I'm just like, and like the amusing thing is that they like one of them specifically like loves muscle cars, and it's like, so he loves like the amount of technology we've advanced, but like he prefers like old muscle cars that just piss through gas, but they had tons of power and they sounded awesome. And it's just kind of funny. It's funny because you would have thought he'd be like the Prius driving,
conserve or
LED light bulbs for everything in his house,
Mhm.
and it's like he's
Yeah.
like loves his muscle cars and his motorcycles.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You never know with some
Anyways,
people.
yeah, very true.
Yes, I guess we should get on the topic.
Yeah, you have a topic.
Yes,
Go
I
ahead.
do.
Go ahead.
So, earlier today, before work, I watched a quick 5-second thing clip, whatever. And the director for NECA Toys, they're creating some Crash Bandicoot toys. And in an interview, he was just like, "Oh yeah, I guess I heard they're gonna make a new one." So people are like, "Wait, they're bringing Crash back?" Throwing out another rumor. So with that in mind, my topic is, if you could bring back any kind of game series from, I guess, I don't know, any discontinued system, what would you bring back?
Okay, uncanny, because my topic, I had 3 articles about the Crash thing.
That's funny.
I want to answer that first. So
Yeah, quickly run through that.
First article is from Polygon. Toymaker teases return of Crash Bandicoot by Owen S. Good, of course. Offhand comment at New York Toy Fair has Crash Bandicoot fans rejoicing with hope. Yeah, NECA Toys. We've got a lot of stuff going on with Sony. Then offhand mentions, looking at some of their other titles, I see that they're bringing Crash Bandicoot back. There was no follow-up, and and Polygon reached out, but there's a GameStop article by Eddie Makuch, whatever, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Eddie. And he updated his article. A representative from NECA Toys told GameSpot today that the company is not, in fact, producing new Crash figures, at least not right now. The rep said, someone misunderstood a comment he made. Randy had seen a faked fan-made image right before he came to the show and said that if the game were coming back, they would love to do we'd love to do figures. So, I'm not trying to burst your bubble, but it's funny because people were talking about it, and I was like, that's kind of cool, but then I started to do some digging, and I saw the two different articles, basically.
Gotcha.
And that it seems like it's just a misunderstanding. Because it seems like what they're saying is that he saw some new fan stuff while probably looking at his Sony stuff, maybe getting ideas or something, and then maybe thought that they were bringing Crash back. And then he said that because why wouldn't they want to do the Crash toys?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the case. And the reality is if they wanted to, they could just release Crash toys just because I bet you people would buy them anyways, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
People would buy, nice Crash Bandicoot figurines to put up as mementos to that time period.
Yeah, exactly.
It is super weird on their part to say something about Crash when, Sony at PSX, he had the stupid Crash t-shirt. And then there was no mention of Crash, right? So it is a little oh wow, there's a spelling error in this. Sackboy is spelled wrong. SAKC boy. It's a little weird that Crash keeps coming back up.
Right.
So, but here's the thing. So you asked me about bringing back an old franchise. And the reality is honestly, if Crash was coming back, I wouldn't want Naughty Dog to do it.
No, and I'm pretty sure they've stated
that they probably don't want to do it. Yeah, because I would rather them work on The Last of Us 2 or Uncharted 4 stuff, or Uncharted. Obviously, we haven't played it yet, so we don't know. But they said the way that Uncharted 4 ends, Neil Druckmann said in an interview, it'll be very hard to continue the story. So my thing is, if there's going to be any sort of spin-offs on Drake's story, is it going to go to another Sony studio? Is it even going to happen? Or is Naughty Dog just pushing forward and getting out of Nathan Drake's universe and going to push into The Last of Us 2? Because we just have to assume that it's coming. I just don't know when.
Yeah.
So, and I think that anyone who thinks that there's going to be a Last of Us 2 announcement at E3 is kind of dumb. I'm not going to lie. You have to realize that means that 2 months after they've released the game they've been working on for 3 years, they're going to immediately pull the rug from under it by saying Last of Us 2. They're not going to do it. There's just it just doesn't make sense. Like they're going to spend the next, at least
they're going to support the
6
game.
to 8 months
Current game.
supporting Uncharted 4 and focusing on that and driving the success of that multiplayer community, because until The Last of Us 2 comes out, there won't be any other multiplayer community for Naughty Dog to really focus. Because let's be honest, The Last of Us Remastered, it still has players, but they're not as concerned.
It's not like,
Uncharted 4 has the capacity to work in a competitive atmosphere, and my guess is they are already planning to push that. So,
right, because isn't there, not to change the topic, but isn't there like aspects of the Last of Us multiplayer in Uncharted 4?
Yes,
like
they've combined the two. Yeah, they've combined the two.
Yeah, so then definitely
But it's just, and which is annoying too, because what some people said was, if you're going to make The Last of Us 2, leave The Last of Us multiplayer out of Uncharted 4, and leave Uncharted 4 as the Uncharted multiplayer we know and love. I'm on both sides of that fence. I'm sitting in the middle, because I like some of the things that they've brought from The Last of Us, but I understand the argument that if you have these two games and they have two separate multiplayers, there is no reason to intertwine them when both of them will eventually have another game in the series. Mm-hmm. Or at least Uncharted 4 will be the last in this series, but The Last of Us 2 is eventually coming. So my opinion, Last of Us 2 is probably coming, but not anytime soon, because it would be dumb to pull the wool out from Uncharted 4.
We're done with this game, but here's the new one.
Like 2 months into it getting off the ground, and you're going to be like, oh, by the way, we've got this new game, so just don't even worry about it. And people who say, no, but I'd still play Uncharted 4, think about how many people are bitching about Destiny 2.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And we're on year 2 of Destiny, and people are... But even in year 1, people were bitching that they wanted Destiny 2 at some point, Right. So, like, if you announce that there's going to be a new one, it's going to definitely have an effect on the audience of that existing game. So I think it would be in Naughty Dog's best interest to avoid anything Last of Us 2 until at least 6 months minimum, hopefully 10 to a year, before they really start doing anything for Last of Us 2. One, you also have to remember that they don't work in separate teams anymore. So Naughty Dog only has one team to work on Uncharted 4. So at the very least, they've probably accomplished only rough prototyping and testing on Last of Us 2 anyways. So they'd be so far out from that happening anyways, because it's all hands on deck from Uncharted 4. And I can say that knowing some people who work on Uncharted at Naughty Dog. Like, they are all hands on deck. They had to push the game back an extra month because they weren't sure. Like, if that were the case, they would have said, oh, we'll take the other half team that's been working on the other game and then have them help us finish it, and we wouldn't have to push the game back. They don't do that anymore. They are it's a one-team thing as opposed to the two-team studio mentality they had before. So the reality is they probably haven't worked on The Last of Us 2 at all. Or very much. My guess is rough prototypes, right? Because they have the
pieces here and there.
They've got the Last of Us Remastered's engine, and they've got the Uncharted 4 engine.
Right.
As they finish the game and everything, and they've got that multiplayer system set up, but now they would have to start creating all the assets, create the story, start doing the motion capture, start doing all, like, that stuff probably hasn't occurred yet because they've been doing the Uncharted 4 stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it's like, would the development for The Last of Us 2 be quicker than The Last of Us 1? Probably, because at this point now they're pushing into the PS4 architecture with two titles of stuff to work from,
to Last of Us and then
Uncharted 4. So but I was actually talking with a buddy of mine, Brian, over at Evolve PR earlier today, because he tweeted a thing that was like, this guy needs to make a comeback, and it was the Super Solver from the Learning Company games, like Gizmos and Gadgets, Operation Neptune. Yeah. And I was like, oh my god, that would be awesome if that game came back, right? Because I loved me some Gizmos and Gadgets. I have the Treasure Mountain disc. It's like right over there, but it doesn't play in my Mac because it's not a powered PC Mac. Which makes me wonder, if I plugged my Cube back in, my G4 Cube, if I could play Treasure Mountain. I don't know where my Gizmos and Gadgets CDs went. But that, I think I could probably just download it for free off the internet. But that would be a fun one, just because it's a throwback.
Super throwback.
I had talked to somebody a while ago about Contra. That would be a cool series to get revived. It would have to be Konami who would do it, and since they basically walked away from consoles, it probably won't happen.
Right. They passed it off to someone else, like Platinum.
Yeah. The only problem with that is that it's really tough. I was thinking about, like, how would you do it? Like, how would you bring Contra into
Right, because
this
would you
generation?
keep it
Because would you keep it a
2.5D side scroller, or
right? Or do you
or modernize it?
Or do you modernize it? And if you modernize it and make it like a first-person shooter, how do you give it the Contra feel and the hardcore difficulty that it had before? And that was the dilemma that I was thinking about. If Contra became like a game that was being brought back in, and I think the reality is it wouldn't be Contra if it wasn't
not by name, but by spirit, I guess. Yes. Essentially,
it would have to be 2.5D. Like, there's just no way.
Oh yeah, there's no way.
They could do the things that they did with like Contra 3, where they had the like few top-down sections.
Right.
But ultimately, I think that would be it, because I think it just wouldn't be the same game. It wouldn't.
Oh. Well, I mean, if they not re-released. They released Mega Man 9 and 10 on PC, PS3, and 360 or whatever, and that was the classic Mega Man we all remember. So if they can do that,
you would have to do that, because was there like a 3D Mega Man game out ever that I'm thinking? I thought maybe there was one, and it was probably terrible.
There's a few spin-offs. Like, one of my favorite games that you can get on PSN right now for $5.99. Either $5.99 or $9.99 is Mega Man Legends, and that was like 3D-ish. That was pretty fun. But nothing else that I can think of that was like a 3D-ish.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll do some research later.
Yeah, so that was my thing. Like, I don't see another game like Contra, like in the true form of Contra. And that's not to say that it couldn't happen. It's just really unlikely with Konami and the way that things have gone, and the way that they're probably going to protect all their IPs for no reason. I mean, I'm sure they'll make a Contra, slot machine. They make a Contra pachinko.
Pachinko machine. It sucks.
Contra Chinko.
So who made Streets of Rage? Was it just Sega? Or... Because whoever made that's a series that I think should come back, Streets of Rage. Because they don't make beat 'em up. They don't make beat 'em ups anymore.
The developer is listed as Sega, Overworks, Sega WoW, and Magical. But I don't know if they were all owned by Sega.
Essentially, we'll just go with Sega for now until we get the real information.
I mean, on Wikipedia it says developer is Sega, publisher Sega.
Okay, well, there you go. Everyone believes Wikipedia, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, if I could be a series I would want to bring back, was Streets of Rage.
Is Streets of Rage like Sega's Double Dragon?
Basically. Yeah. Like, cheesy story, and
two dudes punching the crap out of everybody.
Well, this one was like 4 people.
Oh.
The first 2 games you could switch between 3 people, and then I think the third game was like a kangaroo that you could unlock, a chick, and then 2 different... a little kid, and then 2 other dudes. So I guess essentially 5 characters.
Mm-hmm.
The kangaroo being an unlockable. So 4 with an unlockable kangaroo.
Weird.
Yeah, kangaroo with boxing gloves. I don't know why Sega thought that was a good idea, but hey, whatever, man.
Back then, you could do whatever you wanted.
It's true.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's one of those things. I feel like we've had this discussion before, like, what games would you bring back? And the problem is like, I start to think about those games, and the reality is
would you really want to play them again?
Would I really want to play that game now? Like, the difference is, like, even Zelda, right? Like, I don't care about most of the new Zeldas.
Yeah.
Because they're not they aren't the old Zeldas that I loved.
Because they're either remakes or remasters or whatever. Or just new, new in general.
Just different, like, Twilight Princess was no.
There's an HD release soon.
I don't care
think.
about that though. I'm just saying, like, I played it on Wii, and I just
It's-
got like
meh.
it didn't keep me in the story like the other Zeldas did, right? Like
Fair enough.
I've played Ocarina of Time, and I hate it, and I stand firmly by that. I don't like that game.
I didn't hate it, but yeah, I agree. It wasn't my favorite Zelda at
A
all.
Link to the Past
Oh
is,
yeah,
is
always
my
feeling to the
favorite.
past. Yeah, yeah, that will always be the jam.
But I never played Wind Waker, and a lot of people a lot of people's favorite game is Wind Waker. So I don't.
That one.
It's tough, but the difference is Zelda has come with us this whole time, so we've grown and evolved with Zelda as Zelda has grown and evolved. Whereas, if you look at Contra, like I don't know when the last Contra game came out.
Like on Game Boy Advance.
I'm looking right now because there was Contra 4 on DS, which I have.
No, Hard Corps.
Yeah,
not Hard Corps.
Hardcore was Sega Genesis.
Um,
And then they had Neo Contra on
there was a
PlayStation 2.
spiritual sequel
And
on PS.
there was Neo Contra, and then I'm trying to think of.
Like the last one, it wasn't Contra by name, but it basically was Contra. I forgot what it was called, but it was like an arcade game that was put on PS3 and 360.
Yeah, because it was Contra Super C, which is Super Contra, whatever. Contra 3: The Alien Wars, and then they had Contra 3: The Alien Wars on Game Boy. I have both.
Which I think they called 4 or something like that for some reason.
No, Contra 4 was DS.
Oh, okay.
Contra Hardcore was Genesis,
Which
and I'm trying to find the list of all the games. Yeah, so there was Legacy of War was the PlayStation one, and that was one of the ones that had a weird 3D.
Was that when they tried something different?
Kind of, and then there was
kind of what we were talking about, but
there was the Contra Adventure, which was PlayStation back in '98, and it wasn't. It was developed by Appaloosa. It was published by Konami, but
not developed by the Konami team.
Yeah, so that's that. Then there was Shattered Soldier, Contra Shattered Soldier. That was PlayStation 2. And then let's see, there was Neo Contra, PlayStation 2, and that was the like samurai kind of
the weird deck. Yeah,
the really weird one.
Why they always got to make weird ones?
And then it was Contra 4 DS, and then it was Contra Rebirth, which was a WiiWare game, which was basically like Contra 3, but it wasn't.
Yeah, but it wasn't
because it looks just like it, but it's not.
Or not aesthetically, like
exactly. Aesthetically, it's Contra 3, but it's a slightly different storyline.
But it's yeah.
And then Hardcore Uprising, which
that one. There you go.
That was Xbox Live.
Yeah.
It came on PS. It was on PSN too. And that was 2011.
Like it wasn't
after that,
Contra.
And then after that, there was Contra Evolution, which I don't even know what that is.
Okay, see, I didn't even know they made another one after that.
That was a PC game, and it looks like it's a mobile game, but it looks like it's just the original Contra from NES.
Oh, lame.
Hey, Contra fan. Okay, this is on their Facebook page, January 28th of last year. Hey, Contra fans, we regret to inform you that all Contra Evolution will no longer be available through the App Store, and we will no longer be supporting this title as of the 31st of January. We have no immediate plans to support this title in the future, but if this changes, we will inform you immediately. Thank you for your support of the game throughout the years. So it's not even supported anymore anyways.
Oh.
And you probably can't download it.
That's disappointing, I guess.
Sure. So, I don't know. It's basically the last Contras was PlayStation 2, and that's it's kind of far away. It's kind of far. It's kind of far to bring a series back that's been gone for so long. When you think about all the technology that's changed, I mean, and if you look at games like the original Fallouts to Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, they're different.
True. Instead of like isometric, top down,
clicking PC stuff versus
point and click to like a third person, adventure, whatever, RPG.
So I think that would be kind of weird. Mario has come through all sorts of,
Weird, wacky spin-offs,
but it's
and
been fun. The thing is
but
Mario
it's
has
still,
always
yeah,
been
that's the
fun
thing,
because
is
it
it still
retained
has the
its
same
roots.
formula.
Yeah, it retained
Yeah,
its
exactly.
roots.
Yeah,
Super Mario Galaxy, again, probably one of my favorite games. If I had to
I
pick,
should
like I
probably
would
get.
say, like Super Mario Galaxy on the Wii,
It's
and
on
and
now.
Link, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past on Super Nintendo.
Which is
Uh,
why. Too bad you don't have a 3DS, because you would like Between Two Worlds,
yeah, my brother
because
has
it's
it.
like it's a throwback to Link to the
Yeah,
Past.
it is. It's just different. Yeah, no, my brother has it. I played a little bit of it, but I can't spend the money on a
Oh
3DS
no 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 no
just for
no
one game. Although the
no
problem
no.
is, I think I would just buy a lot of the like Wii Classic or whatever classic
Right.
games.
Yeah yeah. Because
So that would
you
be
can get them cheap-ish.
yeah, especially when I own most of the games anyways.
Right.
It's
It's
like it would
true.
just be the ability to play them portably. Um, so it's like I would rack my brain to see a series come back that I miss, right? Like, and I can think of a couple series that would come back and be fun, but have come back in different ways. And one of them being like BattleTanx from N64, but that's
Yeah.
basically World of Tanks. Just,
Well, takes.
but it's just
Yeah.
like World of Tanks would be like the super expanded equivalent of what BattleTanx was, because BattleTanx was you drive
Was.
around in these small environments and blow shit up. That was pretty much it. Like it was just you blew stuff up. That was it, and it had awesome multiplayer, circa, like kind of like Twisted Metal, but not quite because you're in
No.
tanks and it wasn't necessarily a speed thing, but
Right.
um, and you know what the weirdest thing was? Do you know what the actual backstory of BattleTanx was?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so it was like a
Like this.
nuclear fallout, and actually, you know what? I should probably just grab this off of Wikipedia because it was hilarious. So
Huh.
here it is. I'll read you the plot from the first BattleTanx. In 2001, a virus had killed 99.99% of the females on Earth. That's a lot of females.
Mm-hmm.
Various countries fight over each other's quarantine zones and end up engaging in nuclear war, destroying much of civilization. The few remaining females, called Queen Lords, are held by gangs who have taken over small pieces of the world. The main character, Griffin Spade, had his fiancée Madison taken away from Queens, New York by the U.S. government. Griffin ends up separated from his fiancée, and New York City is destroyed. He claims a tank for his own and sets out across the United States to find her, battling gangs as he reaches his goal. After surviving the ruins of New York City, Griffin heads westward, gaining recruits in the countryside, Chicago, Las Vegas, and San Francisco. So the whole point of this game was that a virus killed all the women, and now everyone's fighting for the women, and this dude wants his lady back. So he
Wow.
kills everyone in tanks.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's battling in tanks, which is weird, but
What a game.
yeah, that was the thing, and I always thought that was like hilarious because so many people never actually knew that like the whole plot of the game is that there's like no more women,
Mm-hmm.
so they're fighting in tanks to like protect the women queen lords.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Where's the sequel? The actual sequel.
Oh, BattleTanx Global Assault.
Oh shit.
There was a sequel. BattleTank Global
Oh
Assault was the
wow.
second one. Yeah, that
Oh
came out and it actually came out on PlayStation too. I didn't realize that. I didn't know. Did the first one? No, the first one was Nintendo 64 only. That was
I
98.
think I
And
might have
then
played the sequel.
BattleTanx Global Assault I think it has a green N64 cartridge, but 3DO made the game and they went bankrupt before another game could
Correct.
be released. Okay, so here we go.
Hmm.
The plot in this one is on January 13th, 2006, the evil Queen Lord Cassandra is spying on Griffin Spade's family, which is the guy from the first one, and orders her troops to kidnap Griffin's son, Brandon, and kill everyone else. Griffin and his army manage to push back the invaders, but Cassandra soon turns the table by mind-controlling Griffin's own army. Griffin and Madison manage to escape San Francisco and begin chasing Cassandra across the United States, eventually cornering her in Washington. Cassandra, however, escapes with Brandon to the United Kingdom. Griffin and Madison follow. They build a new army in Europe and chase her through England, France, and Germany. While in Paris, they discover Cassandra revealed the virus Cassandra released the virus in 2001 to kill every female on Earth who did not have the power of the Edge. In Berlin, Griffin finally rescues Brandon. They make it back to San Francisco and push back another invasion by the Storm Ravens and finally corner and defeat Cassandra on Alcatraz. The story ends with a cliffhanger as an unidentified magician finds Cassandra's body and speaks of a chosen one as he resurrects her. So I'm not going to lie. I think they should redo BattleTanx and pull off that story. Like, because that is hilarious.
That's pretty goddamn hilarious.
So she creates a virus that kills all these women who don't have, like, the power. And then she gets killed, and then a magician brings her back to life. Now, this all happened 10 years ago in the game, because it's 2006 in this plot. So, yeah. I mean, I think a 16-year spread on a video game is a good idea, and I guarantee you whoever, like, wrote the story probably has a story in line for, like, what the third one would be. And it can be as cheesy as the first ones were. Like, the difference is the graphics will just look better.
It'll just be pretty, yeah.
Like, you roll around in tanks and unrealistically blow stuff up. Like, do it. I don't care.
Right? Down.
It's going to be hilarious. So
sold. Someone start the Kickstarter.
Yeah, Kickstarter
right now.
For BattleTanx Global Assault 2. BattleTanx, the search for more tanks. They get perfect name. BattleTanx, the Resurrection.
BattleTanx 3, where the white women at.
No, BattleTanx 3, the Resurrection, because it's about resurrecting her and the game
True.
series. Boom.
True.
Where are all the white women at? Yeah, the blazing BattleTanx, blazing saddles. Yeah, I should pitch this to Cliffy B. Hey, listen, I got a new game for you when you're done with Lawbreakers. BattleTanx, blazing saddles.
Mm-hmm. He probably just get out of my face.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Hey,
okay,
and then he
fine,
makes
fine,
it.
Fine. Gizmos and Gadgets. Yeah, exactly, right? And then he makes a tank battling game. I'd be like, what the fuck? You stole my idea.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. So that's BattleTanx. Oh, man.
I hope that should be the name of the episode is BattleTanx.
Yeah, BattleTanx. Definitely.
Resurrection.
BattleTanx Resurrection. I mean, I'm trying to think of, like, what other game series that were, like, really fun to play. You know, obviously, like, Banjo-Kazooie we are getting, right? We're getting Yooka Laylee. And by all accounts, it is, like, a true sequel because it's mostly the same team because it's all those same guys from Rare. You know, you've got Grant Kirkhope doing the music. One of the other guys who did the music is also with them. And by all visual accounts, and you've got this, you know,
right?
This bat and lizard animal duo combo. It is all by all accounts, like, you know, the same game, just a new version. Yeah. So in that sense, that's what I'm most looking forward to from one of these games is Yooka Laylee. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah. Was there a release date for that yet or no?
I want to say there might have been, but I don't remember. Expected release window of October 2016. So end of the year. Around my birthday.
Sweet.
Fully funded in June. Let's see, mid-90s.
Say
it doesn't
there's
say
no way
anything specifically on the website. It just says.
Gotcha.
It just says that it's.
Hey, we're getting released.
There was an article that said like October 2016. So. But it's like it's just funny how like everything is just an updated version of, you know, what we loved about Banjo-Kazooie. And that's, that's super exciting because this is and the fun thing about it is because they went independent. Playtonic Games went independent. They have the ability to do that. They don't have to worry about someone saying like you can't. We're not going to spend money so you can do this.
Right. They
They're
don't
just
look
like
Sony,
whatever.
Microsoft.
Yeah.
Nice.
They are literally just saying, "Hey, we did a Kickstarter. We have this idea. We're the same people who did this game in the past, except we're starting our own company because now we can't be told that they don't want us wasting our time on this."
Yeah,
And
we're not going to get it.
And then it also means that they don't have to deal with the most likely potential influence that like the parent company might be like,
True.
"Hey, you can't do this." Like I imagine Rare is probably not annoyed with Playtonic, but I guarantee you that they're probably a little bummed because it means they can't they probably can't make a new Banjo-Kazooie without stepping on toes, right? Because I think a lot of people would respond to that being like, "Are you making it because someone else is making a game very similar to it?" And I think the other thing is that if Rare did go down that Banjo-Kazooie road, it probably would never be the same because most of the team that made those games is at Playtonic. Right? So, like, it's, would it be cool if it was being made by Rare? Sure, but that's just the name of a company. The people who actually made the game are at Playtonic, so Playtonic's game is probably going to give us what we want out of it.
Basically, yeah, they can complete fan service, I guess, if you want to say.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at with that. What are you doing?
Sorry, had to blow my nose.
Mute your mic. Jeez.
Bad.
So yeah, Playtonic doing Yooka Laylee is definitely one of those. It would be the perfect example of what I want happening. Because it's not just Banjo-Kazooie 3, right, or Banjo 2D 2. Right?
No, yeah,
it's the same game with different stuff to it.
Mm-hmm.
Would I like a new Diddy Kong Racing? Yeah, but
no,
I would. Dude, that game was fun.
I honestly never played it, so
It was fun. I had a lot of fun with that game. And I think the problem is with that is that you always have to make the decision of like, do I want this company? Do you want the Naughty Dogs and the Sucker Punches and the Konamis or the Kojima Studios of the world to be making the old games newer, or just making fresh new ideas? And I think that's the debate you'll probably find yourself in amidst those companies when they make decisions. Like Naughty Dog probably is like, yeah, it'd be cool if Crash Bandicoot was a thing, but we'll probably be way more successful making a new game.
Yeah, it's like too bad we're not doing it.
Yeah. And then they also they probably also have to deal with how many people would just be annoyed, right? How many people would be like, "No, I want The Last of Us 3. I don't want Crash Bandicoot. I want Infamous. I want Infamous 4. I guess what would you call it? Because it's like First Light was DLC to Second Son, but Second Son isn't necessarily Infamous 3. So it's like, would you make Infamous, does the Infamous become a franchise that has
Third
multiple...
Son.
Well, not even Third Son, but does it become a franchise that has independent stories throughout that the Infamous universe, or does it continue with Cole, or does it continue with Delsin or Fetch? I think they could make a game out of Fetch's character for sure.
I'd be down.
Bigger than First Light.
Oh yeah.
Or does Sucker Punch make a completely new game, or do they say, hey, we're making a new Sly Cooper? And I guarantee you, there's tons of people who'd be like, oh, new Sly Cooper, sweet. But there'd also be people who'd be like, but I want new Infamous.
Yeah.
So I think the real reality of that situation is you have to ask yourself, what would you rather them do? And I think most people would rather a new, fresh game than an old, fresh game, because probably somewhere down the line they've already done the research on this and have seen that it doesn't play out.
It does. Yeah. No. Yeah. It's a huge hit and miss.
Yeah. So that would be that would be the thing. And that's totally, it's fine. I don't really have a problem with it. I just
Oh yeah, I think that's where the line can get cut because it's like, for example, the Final
what?
Fantasy. People are like, yeah, sweet, cool, but it's not the same game. The Final Fantasy VII remake that's going to be released,
Yeah.
episodic, whatever. First we're excited, and then they're like, oh, wait, now, but it's not going to be the same game you remember. Like, we're going to change it up, and we're going to make the game that the Final Fantasy VII we wanted to make. And people are like, oh, okay. So it's like, cool, we're getting this old game, but it's modernized, but it's not the same game. So part of you is excited, but at the same time, you're just like, well, no, that's not what I wanted, though.
Right, and I think the reality is that I think most people are blinded by their emotions. They want, like, would I love for Bungie to go back to Halo because I didn't like what happened with 4? And again, I think I'm in the minority in that. I think a lot of people really liked what 343 did with Halo 4. I did not. I did not like it. I thought they went too far into the depths of the Master Chief and his character, and I liked not knowing a lot about him. I liked the separation. I liked the separation and the mystery between him and Cortana, and I didn't really like that they kind of pushed those boundaries. Because that was kind of what gave the Master Chief the allure that he had, was the fact that we didn't know everything about him. You know? And they only gave us small bits at a time. And then when you kind of just do this weird thing with the story, and it's like, I really wish
he starts showing emotion, and
it's like, and it's like the whole time through he managed not to have that problem, and now it's like, so whatever.
What happened?
Again, 343, whatever. Do your thing.
Do a Solar Beam.
But
see, it's a huge. I don't know. You can't. Like you want to be happy, but you're like, nope.
It's not that I want to be happy. It's just that I want.
Well, I mean, not just you, but I mean, like, just it's like cool, but no, not cool. I guess I don't know. Like I can't explain it really without saying that it's bad, but it's not bad. I don't know.
No, I kind of think I'm getting what you're saying. Yeah. For me, the problem is I sit there and I think that, yes, I would love for them to make these old games, and I guarantee you they've probably been like, we would too, except we wouldn't make any money. And we would have to end up dealing with all the crap. And the reality is that I think when I was talking to one of my friends who works in the industry, he said, he was like, go play those games again.
Yeah.
And he literally said to me, he was like, go play the game again. Trust me. He's like, when you go play that game again, you'll understand why we don't make that game anymore. He's like, it was great. It was great then. He's like, but if you go back and you play it now, you'll understand the things that we have improved on over the years across every game. He's like, not just the games that, he made, but he's like, you'll understand and appreciate what they did to pave the way for the game that we have now. But he's like, if you really wanted that game again, he's like, you'll understand very quickly that you really don't. Because it's just not.
Because they would have to change it.
No, because it's in your head, it was better than it is now.
Right. What you remember is different than what it would be now, I guess. Essentially.
Basically.
Yeah.
So.
No, that makes perfect sense. No,
So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like your heart and your head aren't in sync, and it's like your heart wants the game, but your head's probably like,
like,
no, you really don't, because you're gonna play it and be like, what is this? This is crap. Why are the controls?
Right.
Why do the controls not feel like they did on that game? And it's like, because the technology is so much different. It's like when I was playing Call of Duty the other day, and it was so weird. It didn't feel like it's. I had to jack the sensitivity up way high, and even then I was still, like, I did okay.
Wow.
But it was just like I start, like, my sensitivity was on 7 and I pushed it to 9.
Jeez.
Yeah, But like normally I play with high sensitivity, but it's usually like
Yeah.
between 5 and 7 is where I find myself being okay, and I had to
Right.
push it on
Yeah.
Homefront. I played the Homefront beta and was streaming our aim assist and pushed sensitivity from 50 to 85, and I still thought the controls sucked.
Dang.
That whole beta is bad though. It's just really, really choppy. It's not very smooth, and I don't
Say
know if it's
two
the Xbox One or if it's just that they've added so much to it that it's not fully optimized right now. Because when I played it at PAX Prime, it was crispy, it was smooth,
solid.
it was solid. The Xbox
To be
One,
fair,
not
the
so much.
build there has to be solid. They don't want to show off a crappy build.
You'd be surprised how many games you play at PAX that aren't fully
I guess it's true. I've never actually been to PAX, so I can't really say.
Like not every game is perfect.
I'd imagine so, which would be embarrassing though, because then people play it and they're just like, no.
But the problem is that's what happens, right? Like sometimes, like I remember when I played We Are Doomed, We Happy Few, and the game it crashed. Like I was just in the middle of it and it just crashed. And it was like the line to play the game was so long that I couldn't play it again. That was it.
Right. Yeah.
So my experience was playing like 4 minutes, running around, getting into like a small, battle with some of the people in the environment, and then the game crashed.
Right.
And that was it.
Ouch.
I've been in the beta ever since PAX East, and I play it every once in a while. And the game has made huge changes since I've played it. It's really bizarre how it plays now in comparison to then, and like just the mechanics and everything. And it's actually really cool how much nicer it's been to play on my my alpha, because that was why I bought the alpha, was because I couldn't play We Happy Few. It didn't run on my MacBook at all. And so I was like, this is like base model. It's got a graphics card. It's a PC. It should probably run it no sweat. And it ran it pretty good, and now it runs really well. Like it's been optimized so much over this time that it plays so much better. But yeah, I mean, it's not uncommon to play a game at PAX and have it like crash.
I guess
or have it like get really weird. But it's also not uncommon to play a game at PAX and then it never actually come out, or it changed completely before it comes out.
True. They usually do.
Galaxy was one of those examples. I played that 3 different times at PAX, and then it, when it finally came out, there had been minor changes throughout. And
so is it different from what you played, or is it essentially somewhat kind of the same?
It's somewhat
but not really?
the same, but the story was different.
The
story was different. The story was supposed to be more open world originally, and then it became like the episodic level based kind of thing.
Which is kind of weird. But...
Which is kind of weird, but it plays out like a TV show kind of.
Oh yeah.
It did. Yeah. I don't recall that being a thing at all when I first played it. The gameplay was relatively the same, but I think it was designed to be much more expansive than it ended up being. And part of that, I think, was because they moved their studios to Japan, and so that probably interfered with things. And then
gotcha.
Time-wise, and I'm sure that's not... that's just what happens. And the game came out, and it's good, it's fun, but it's...
Oh, yeah, I enjoyed that. I don't... No regrets in buying it.
Right. So it is what it is. But I'm excited to see what happens this year at PAX. I'm excited to see what happens this year at E3. But the reality is I've got my Dying Light, and I've played a good amount of that, and I've got Uncharted 4 in the pipeline. I think the only other interim game that I could dump time into would be Halo 5, but I gotta go pick it. I gotta buy it.
You gotta get it soon before it goes back up to $59.
I know.
It's taunting you because it's going on sale everywhere. And then as soon as you're like,
it's been like $39 everywhere. And then I went to buy it one day and Target raised the price back up. And now it's back. Yeah. My problem is I really should just go get a physical copy, but I know it's gonna max out my hard drive anyways.
Gotcha.
And also I just bought that. I bought the tablet and then I bought my capture card, and I'm like, just kind of dropped a lot of money. I haven't been feeling very well. I've just been like really tired all the time, and so I haven't been doing it at all. I think it's been like over 2 weeks since I've posted like a YouTube video, like a Let's Play or anything. But now that I have the new capture card and it works flawlessly, big props to Aver Media. I've been streaming more often, but I also think I need to just start getting back into the YouTube grind.
Yeah.
Just because it's nice to be creating content. So, but that's kind of it for me.
Fair enough.
So, what else you got, or is that it?
Yeah, that was my big shebang.
It's a good one. I mean, and I'm curious to see or read or hear what other people think. I mean, if the problem is like there is no. I think there's tons of people who probably are like, yeah, that makes total sense, and there's other people who are like, but I want this old game.
Right.
You know, so I don't.
Right.
I don't know what you would do.
Tweet at us. What game do you want?
At
whoever's going to listen.
DGCast on Twitter. But yeah,
commented on old YouTube video, something.
But yeah, so my shout out this episode is Platonic Games, at Platonic Games, the makers of Yooka Laylee, because they are doing what I want them to do. They're making my old favorite game new.
Nice.
In a way that makes sense, right? Because it's not being made by Rare; it's being made by the team that made it, but independently, so that they don't have to deal with restrictions,
all the crazy,
oversight.
Mm-hmm. No one's telling them no, essentially. No. I guess.
Yeah, the only people who would have told them no were the Kickstarters, and the Kickstarters gave them tons of money to do
Obviously,
it. So.
They're not saying no, so people want this game.
Yeah. So with that, shout out to Platonic Games, at Platonic Games on Twitter. Feel free to follow us on Twitter at the DGCast. Follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/DGCastTV. I am currently working on a road to 100 followers, and we are getting close. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/thedgcast. Like I said, I've slacked off on posting videos, but I am really going to try and get back into it and try to post at least a video like every other day until I can get back into posting a video a day. That said, I think that is everything.
I believe so.
I think that's everything for the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Again, episode 57. Working our way towards the big 6-0. And if you enjoy it, feel free to leave us a review on iTunes. Leave us some thumbs up, some likes, some subscriptions on other social medias, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. And we will catch you guys and ladies.
Just had to add them.
I can't exclude, all right?
Hey, we're not sexist.
No, well, I am. I'm totally sexist. Totally. I love sex. Of course I'm a sexist.
Damn it. Next episode, we'll be feminist on.
Yeah. It's like, when people put like the question on questionnaires like sex, and it's just like, yes.
Yes.
Anyways.
Higher.
Yeah. Anyways, so that'll do it for the episode. We will catch you
on the flip.